Hello and welcome back to my channel. Bonsoir et bienvenue sur ma chaîne. My name is Muriel and this evening I will be doing the mid-year book freakout tag 2021 edition. Jumping straight into the questions with question number 1. Best book you've read so far in 2021. I shall divide this question in two to give an answer for standalones and an answer for series, because I judge series as a whole. I don't like to pick one book out of a series personally. So for standalones, I could go with something like The Book of the Unnamed Midwife by Meg Allison, even though it isn't technically a standalone, but I'm not going to pursue the series. I could also go with I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid, which was an excellent psychological thriller, but ultimately I'm just going to go with Putney by Sofka Zanaviev, which I finished at the very, very beginning of the year. It's a beautiful book, which I have a review if you're interested. Very well written, great character work, very sensitive subject matter, but it was very cathartic for me, very impactful emotionally. So yeah, I'll go with that. And for the series, here again, I could go with a few options. I could go with the Children of Time, Children of Ruin duology, though I mean, I guess I technically could have gone with Children of Time as a sort of standalone. I also could have gone, I guess, with Shriek and Afterward by Jeff Vandermeer, because it's sort of a standalone within a series of books set in the same universe. Could also go with The Hyperion Cantos, which has 2 books in it. That's a very strong contender. I mean, ultimately, I have to give this one to the Wind Flame trilogy, which is a new favorite. I adored that trilogy, so I would give the series point to The Winning Flame, but The Hyperion Cantos is a very, very close second, and Children of Time is a very, very close third, with perhaps an honorary point to Shriek and Afterward. Yeah, I know I'm complicated like that, just roll with it. Continue on with question number 2. Best sequel you've read so far in 2021. I binge read series, so I haven't read anything which I started last year or another year, but I can answer this question. I'm just going to go for an easy one. I'm going to go with The Fall of Hyperion, because I liked it even more than I did Hyperion. To me, it was a superior novel. I gave it a 9 out of 10. And I guess, I could give the point. I don't know why I'm talking about points, just, that's how it is. To, the Bitter Twins or The Poison Song within the Winning Flame trilogy, but I mean, I adored that trilogy as a whole. Sequel-wise, I am going to give it to The Fall of Hyperion, because that was just brilliant. Question number 3, a new release you haven't read yet, but want to. For once, I actually have an answer for this type of question, because there is a book that has come out this year, which I haven't yet read, but plan to, and that is Skyward Inn by Aaliyah Whiteley. I'm interested in this novel because it's been blurbed as mixing narrative styles from Jeff Vandermeer, Ursula K. Le Guin, which is a hell of a thing to live up to, mind you, and I don't tend to trust blurbs at all, after all the times I've been burned because of them. But I mean, yeah, because it's been blurbed that way, that immediately makes it interesting to me. Apparently, it's supposed to resemble Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier, which I've never read, and its basic premise, but then there are aliens in there, and it's weird. I like weird fiction most of the time, I guess. So yeah, I want to read that. It has already come out, but it's come out in hardback, so I'm waiting for it to come out in paperback, which will be later this year. But so I do plan to get around to it. Question number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I have nothing. There's this kind of a running theme with me. I just don't keep up that closely with the new releases. I mean, there are a few exceptions from time to time, like Skyward Inn by Aaliyah Whiteley, but I mean, no, even in nonfiction, I can't think of anything. There are a couple of books of nonfiction that came out this year that I do want to get to, but I don't care to mention them at this point. So yeah, no, I can't really think of anything. I could go with The Winds of Winter out of deeply delusional wishful thinking. But otherwise, no, I don't have anything for this question. Question number 5, what has been the biggest disappointment so far in 2021? Samiosis by Sue Burke. Clearly, wow, that was so incredibly bad. Oh my god. If you want to have a laugh, I did a rant review for that book. So yeah, that was profoundly bad. Definitely the biggest disappointment so far. Question number 6. What was the biggest surprise of 2021 so far? I could go with I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. Now, I was expecting to enjoy it somewhat, even though it's not my usual reading fare. Maybe The Winnowing Flame, I was expecting to enjoy it. I was expecting it to be decent fantasy, and I ended up adoring it. I really, really got into that trilogy and loved it, and I cried at the end of it. I could go with that, yeah, sure. And I mean, I guess technically the Hyperion Cantos could fit, because this might seem a bit weird, but I originally felt a bit wary. I was afraid I wouldn't like it as much as I did, because it had been hyped to me, maybe not directly, but, you know, based on things I'd read, and I had a mixed experience with older science fiction and fantasy written by male authors, let's put it that way. But I really loved it. I mean, it was really freaking good. So yeah, I guess I was a bit surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll split it between The Winnowing Flame and the Hyperion Cantos. Question number 7, a favorite new author, debut or new to you? Once again, this is hard because I don't really that's the thing about me, I don't really focus on an author, I focus on the work, and just because I enjoy one thing by an author does not at all necessarily mean I'll enjoy anything else by them. I mean, with a couple of notable exceptions, but they're exceptions for a reason. So, I don't know. I can't say I've found a new favorite author. I'm kind of starting to think that Jeff Vandermeer and China Mieville might become new actual favorite authors, because I've just significantly enjoyed most of the things I've so far read by both of those authors. But that's not necessarily something that dates from like this year. I've only read the two things from Dan Simmons. I'm definitely open to trying something else by him. The same could be said for Jen Williams, who wrote The Winnowing Flame. So yeah, no, I don't really have a concrete answer for this question. Question number 8, newest fictional crush. I don't really do fictional crushes, but I mean, gun to my head, I guess. I could go with Lady Vintage from The Winnowing Flame, or maybe Noon. I mean, crush. Maybe not really crush, but like, I felt for her. But otherwise, no, I can't really say I've developed a crush on any fictional character I've recently encountered. Question number 9, newest favorite character. Well, I mean, I just mentioned a couple from The Winnowing Flame. I really loved most of the main characters in that fantasy trilogy, so those could definitely fit. The question, could I say the spiders from Children of Time? Like, does that count? I kind of like some of the spider characters from Children of Time. But I mean, I enjoyed a lot some of the fantastical beast characters from The Winnowing Flame once again. I did really enjoy the main character, actually, in the Book of the Unnamed Midwife, whose name you never actually discover, hence the titles. I don't know what she's called, but she was like a really badass bisexual midwife surviving in this post-apocalyptic world, and I really liked her, so she could kind of fit the question, I guess. Yeah, I guess I answered the question, basically, those characters. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. I have several for this question. Putney made me cry. The Book of the Unnamed Midwife made me cry. The Winnowing Flame made me cry. I think that's enough, don't you? So yeah, those. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. So as a general rule, I mean, it's not a rule, but I don't usually read feel-good literature. So I'm once again kind of drawing a blank here. I guess Natural History of Dragons was kind of feel-good in a way. It was a nice little adventure. It centers on a character who challenges the gender norms of her society, and it had a pretty positive outcome, I guess. Generally speaking, I could just kind of cheat with this question and say that a lot of books make me happy that I read them, if that makes sense. I'm very happy I read the Hyperion Cantos. Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky was great. I highly enjoyed Shriek and Afterward and City of Saints and Madmen by Jeff Vandermeer. Though those books aren't happy stories, I guess, but I'm happy I read them. I know that's not really what the question is asking, but that's going to be my answer. Question number 12, the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. So once again, I guess I'm kind of cheating, but I'm just going to insert an updated photo of my special editions bookshelf, because I've added a couple since the last time I talked about them and showcased them. I've invested in the special illustrated edition of A Game of Thrones, though not the folio one, but the folio one is on my wish list as well. And I've gotten the Folio Society edition of Dune, which is absolutely magnificent. So I'll just insert a picture to answer that question. And finally, question number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Many books. So many books. There are about 30 to 35 books on my official yearly TBR, though I'm kind of adding a few books here and there from my local library as I go along. So off the top of my head, giving you a little preview into my yearly TBR for the second half of the year, we have the new Crobuzon trilogy by China Mieville. There's Vita Nostra by Marina Dyachenko. I also plan on reading the Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang, though that won't be until the end of the year. Skyward Inn, like I said, by Aaliyah Whiteley. Another Jeff Vandermeer novel. Another collected edition of H.P. Lovecraft stories. I also plan on reading other classics this year. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I plan on reading something else by Octavia E. Butler. It'll probably be the novel Fledgling. I also have The Priory of the Orange Tree on my TBR, and just a few books of nonfiction. I might reread the Farseer trilogy in order to continue on with the Realm of the Elderlings, but I don't know yet how I'm going to do it exactly, whether I'm going to actually reread my physical copies or listen to them on audiobook. So we shall see. And yeah, a few other novels, but that gives you a nice little picture of the rest of my yearly TBR. And that wraps up this little tag video. I hope you're all doing well and wish you all a lovely day, evening, or whichever time of day you prefer. Take good care of yourselves in the meantime, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.